Oh hey, it's Wes, and today it's time to revisit something. A controversial video that I had in the past. It is the Comica Boom X U UHF. So let's rewind a little bit here. I originally reviewed the Comica Boom X U, and apparently I was one of the few people who took a bit of an issue with the reception quality of this device. This is the one that I'm using right now. I have a bit of a longer cable to get over to my camera so that we can watch it in action. And in my original video, in my long distance test, it did not hold up very well. Well, Comica noticed that, and they have made some revisions to the hardware and replaced the products on the market. So now there is a new revision of this same product out there that is supposed to address those issues. Does it? Let's find out. But we're not going to skip ahead. We're still going to go through the categories, starting with the build quality. This is the same build quality as before, and unfortunately, we're going to be losing some points from last time. So here's my original kit that I was using to review. And when it arrived, one of the transmitters had a broken clip on it. Since then, it has still been used, and the receiver clip has broken off. So at the time of review, I had mentioned that it was a bit plasticky, seemed a little bit hokey, and now, yes, I do know these are the exact same builds as far as I can tell as the old one, so I can only give this a 5 out of 10. So since 2 out of the 3 units that I had physically broke, can't give it a high rating for build quality. But let's move right along to the feature set. You have a solid 6-hour battery life on these. You have tons of included accessories, XLR adapter, TRRS, TRS, you've got USB-C, you've got wind muffs, you've got this lovely little carry case with lots of protection. So that's great, there's a lot going on here. That's the physical features. Now on the devices themselves, you have UHF transmission, which is bound to give you a better signal than a 2.4 gigahertz signal, less interference, theoretically speaking. You have USB charging. Each device has its own, so you're gonna have to charge 3 things with these. You can do stereo or mono with this device. Right now I'm currently operating in mono mode because it's just me. Or you can use the 2 devices separately and have separate channels going to the left and right. It's great for interviews. And the lav mics themselves have built-in microphones, so you can use a mic in it or you can use your own mic, which is bound to give you better sound. The mic itself is very generic, capsule mic. The wire on it is very thick, not super flexible. The capsule itself is quite large. The foam that comes on the capsule is nice though. It has a nice rubber backing. Slides on really well. Pretty good for rejecting wind noise and brushing up against your shirt. Not the best, but pretty good. And then we have a 2-color main display. It's bright, it's decently easy to use. Transmitters themselves though, they only have a couple LEDs to tell you what's going on here, so not great. The antennas are external, so to get the best audio quality and signal quality, you have to extend them. And there you have all the features, not the best features, not every feature you could imagine. There's no display on the transmitters. I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10 for feature set. Sound quality. So far we've been using this unequalized. I'm gonna try to equalize it now and see what that sounds like to me. There we go, we're equalized now. Now, I don't want to be the arbiter of all things sound, so I'll let you tell me what you think of the sound, unequalized and equalized, down in the comments. Let me know how that sounds. All right, let's move on to the usability. And that includes our signal strength, so let's go for a walk and see how that goes. Now, you might find it suspicious that one of them is not mounted on a hot shoe. That's because the hot shoe clip broke right off the old one. Which is unfortunate because the hot shoe clip broke off one of the transmitters as well, so apparently the hot shoe clips on these are not so hot. Yeah. Alright, time for the Comica face-off. I have the old Boom in my right pocket, the new one in my left pocket. Let's see how they do. Maybe they'll be the same, maybe one will get better. And yes, the antennas are extended. And we're walking away. Okay, we're at this distance here. Considered a pretty normal distance from the camera. It's fair distance, not exactly vlogging distance. But you never know what might happen when you're turning around or when you're hiding behind some wood on the side of the house here. Turning around, changing my orientations to see just what happens when I do what I do. Coming back out here, I'm gonna start my walk, my lonely journey across the Canadian tundra. If I don't make it back, somebody please come feed my cats. They need to be fed a lot. Well, I guess need is a strong word for what my cats' dietary necessities are. Whew. I mean, if I have to be honest, they probably eat too much. Too many treats. They just keep whining and whining for more treats. They know where they are, and then they sit under the cupboard, and they put on these sad eyes, and they cry, and they cry. Here we are, all the way out here. Now, it should be noted that one of these transmitters is on channel 20, one is on channel 30, so that should be enough distance apart. Additionally, they're both on the auto scan feature, so they chose whatever channel they wanted to use. For a device that has an auto scan feature, it really shouldn't be up to me to decide what channel is best for them. So if they get it right, they get it right. If they don't, they don't. Now, a lot of people complained about my last test. There were lots of theories about the antenna not being out or being biased for the road, but it kind of just is what it is. Sometimes things work well, sometimes they don't. All right, back here again. Turn around. Functionally, these mics don't appear to be any different whatsoever from what they were before. The mic capsules are the same. And it's the same mic capsule that you see on a lot of things. It's all right. All the frequencies are there, and there's nothing completely off kilter like I kind of found with the I can't remember which one that was, so I'll just stop talking about that. I'm gonna go behind the cameras now to hide behind the car, because there's a car immediately behind these cameras. So I'm gonna walk behind this car, facing away from the cameras, kneeling down so that I'm completely behind the car, then turning around so that I'm facing the cameras. Overall, I'm only about 15-20 feet away from the cameras, but I am obscured by an automobile. And now I'm coming back. Walking back around. Walking back around. And here we are again. So again, we have the old versus the new. Really interested to see if anything has changed. Let's have one last look at our setup here. Now, you might find it suspicious that one of them is not mounted on a hot shoe. That's because the hot shoe clip broke right off the old one. Which is unfortunate, because the hot shoe clip broke off one of the transmitters as well. So, apparently the hot shoe clips on these are not so hot. There you have it. Let's take it back to the studio and see how these did. All right, so that held up way better. Like, shockingly better than the old Boom X. And if you want to see how the old Boom X compared to the Rode, you can go back and have a look at that as well. So let's keep on moving and do just a regular vlogging test of the audio and signal quality. All right, here we are testing the new Comica BoomX U 2. Is it number 2? I don't know. And we're at a much more normal distance here. One might consider it a vlogging distance, sitting in front of my computer, just a few feet away from the receiver. And so here we are, the lav mic is on me. I'm gonna put this down here. I do have the antenna extended. Kind of silly having an antenna sticking off of me from such a small device. So I'm gonna go for a spin, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. This is a fairly normal room. It has somewhat lively sound, a little bit echoey. And now that you've heard that, I'm going to take this, I'm going to unplug the lav mic and see what this sounds like just on the transmitter itself. Is there a different sound? You let me know if it sounds any bit different. As far as I can tell, they appear to have about the same mic capsule in there, which is a pretty generic capsule, nothing special, nothing terrible either. Let's move on. And there you have it. This thing's pretty solid for signal quality. So, positives, you do have USB-C charging, but also the negative that they all have to be charged separately. They are reasonably small and compact, not the smallest though. There's only one screen on the receiver, not on the transmitters, so you don't get to get all your information on here. It's just kind of a dumb unit. And also, the antennas need to be extended for ideal signal. That's That is not ideal, honestly. If you're going to be clipping this onto your talent, the antenna out, it's better to be in a pocket or on a belt. Like, can you imagine clipping this to someone's shirt? No, that's a no. So overall, we're going to have to give that a 7 out of 10 for usability. Pretty solid. Value. This one clocks in at $250. It's not the cheapest. That would be the Sony Tiny, which is $170. I did try that out. Got a review there as well. Then you have like Movo comes in around $200. Ceramonic has options from $250 to $400. Hollyland Lark, $330. And then there is a Rode kit with all the stuff. If you want 2 transmitters, 2 receivers, 2 lav mics, that's $560. Then there's the Deity Connect Dual for $670. So this isn't the cheapest thing you can get, but honestly, for a solid signal and solid sound quality, this is doing pretty well. You can't do a lot better. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 for value. So overall, that's a 35 out of 50. It's not the most streamlined kit, but for signal strength, it is probably one of the best, as long as you keep those antennas extended. Let me know if you have any questions about this, if you have any comments about the audio. If you think there's anything else I should test or compare this to, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be hanging out down there. But overall, I am happy with this update. I kind of wish that they had made it more obvious update, because this looks identical to the old one. It's a little bit confusing. The only way for me to know which one's the old one is that the old one has no belt clip on it anymore. But overall, sounds good. Until next time, let's go take some photos.